Good evening to all students. Today we're going to discuss on the histology of the male reproductive organ. Okay. On the previous slide, on the previous session, we have the discuss on the anatomy of the male reproductive organ. Now we're going to proceed with the histology of the male reproductive organ. Okay, this picture just to show you the cross section of the male body. So we have the male reproductive organ here, male reproductive system, shown by the picture. Okay, during my early part of my lecture in my previous session, I have discussed on the testis and also its covering. So I mentioned that the testis itself, okay. So if you see here, this is the testis. It is covered by the fibrous capsule, and this fibrous capsule is known as a tunica albuginea. Okay, tunica albuginea. So the tunica albuginea, it surrounds the testis. And then we also we have the scrotal cavity. Okay, the cavity. And this cavity, scrotal cavity, is lined by the tunica vaginalis. Okay, we have the parietal layer and the visceral layer. Okay, and the visceral layer. Okay. And then we have 200 to 300 lobules. So if you see here, we have the lobule, okay, the lobule, okay, that divided by the septum, the fibrous septum, okay. And then inside the lobule, we have the seminiferous, okay, tubule, seminiferous tubule. Okay, whenever you cut this testis, okay, so you can see this kind of thing, okay, this kind of appearance, okay. So you can see this is the individual of the seminiferous tubule. And not only seminiferous tubule, we also have you can see the cell that line the tubule. So you can see here the different stages of the cell that line the tubule. Okay, this is the seminiferous epithelium. Okay. Okay, so for the seminiferous tubule, okay, the seminiferous tubule or the seminiferous epithelium, it consists of two types of cell. Okay? You have to remember here, seminiferous tubule, it consists of two types of cells. We have the Sertoli cell, and this Sertoli cell actually is a supporting cell. Okay, supporting cell. And then the other cell type that we have that present inside the seminiferous tubule is a sex cell. Okay, so if you see from this picture, this is the Sertoli cell. Okay, okay, Sertoli cell or sustentacular cell. Okay, Sertoli cell, same thing. Yeah. And then this is the different stage of the sex cell. We're going to discuss further later. Okay. Okay. So here we have the sustentacular cell or Sertoli cell. Okay. And then we have the sex cell. Okay. Different stage of the sex cell that we have here. Okay. We're going to discuss it later. Okay. We start to discuss on the sex cell first. For the sex cell, it makes up of stratified 4 to 8 layers deep. So it can be 4 to 8 layers deep. Okay, for the sex cell. The cell that differentiate progressively from the basal. This is the basal portion. Okay, divide. Okay, and then it differentiate. Okay, progressively from the vessels to the lumen. Okay. Into the lumen of the tubule. So here this is the lumen of the tubule. Okay, the spermatogonium. Okay, this is the spermatogonium. Okay, it lies at the basement membrane. Okay, so we have the basement membrane here. It lies at the basement membrane. So this spermatogonium, it is a relatively small cell with the nucleus. So if you see here, this is the nucleus. The nucleus it contains the chromatin, and then followed by the primary spermatocyte. So this primary spermatocyte, okay, it is the largest series of the cell. So you can compare to, if you compare to the remaining cell. So this cell, the primary spermatocyte, is the largest one. Okay? And it is characterized by the different stage of the chromosomal coiling. Okay, different stage of the chromosomal coiling located within their nuclei. And then proceed with the secondary spermatocyte. And for the secondary spermatocyte, it is a short life cell. Okay, just it's a short life cell that whenever as soon as they form, they will divide and produce a spermatid. Okay, whenever this secondary spermatoid is being formed, better we further divide and then produce a spermatid. Okay, this is the spermatid. And then for the spermatid, okay, if you see here, spermatid, okay, it lie close to the lumen. Okay, lie close to the lumen. Okay, and the nucleus has area of condensed chromatin. So the chromatin become condensed. Okay, and then spermatozoa. If you see here, this is the sperm or spermatozoa. Okay, which is formed from the spermatid. This spermatid will transform into a spermatozoa. Okay, by the process of the spermiogenesis. Okay, the mature sperm will be detached. Mature sperm will be detached and will be carried into the duct as fast as whenever it being formed. Okay. Okay, now we're going to proceed to discuss on the Sertoli cell or sustentacular cell. Okay, this is the Sertoli cell or sustentacular cell. The Sertoli cell, it rests on the basement membrane, and its cytoplasm extend to the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. So you can see here from the basement membrane here, it extends toward the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. Okay, it's a very large cell actually. The Sertoli cell, it has a pale oval nucleus. Okay, the nucleus is oval in shape. Okay, and then the cytoplasm contain the mitochondria and also the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so if you see here, this is actually the sustentacular cell. Okay, so instead we have the inside the cytoplasm there is a presence of the mitochondria and also the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, and then this is the endoplasmic reticulum. And then for the Sertoli cell are bound to one another. Okay, the Sertoli cell is bound to one another. Okay, by the junctional complex, which is the tight junction. Okay, I hope you all still remember what is the tight junction. Okay, what is the function of the Sertoli cell or sustentacular cell? So the function of the Sertoli cell is to maintain the blood-testis barrier. Okay, mean that the blood cannot enter into the testis. It cannot enter into the testis. Maintain the blood-testis barrier. The special human fluid height in sex hormone. The special so it contain the fluid height with the sex hormone. Okay, and then the other function is to protect. Okay, protect from the immune attack. Okay, due to the presence of the sperm specific antigen. Okay, sperm specific antigen. Okay, the sustentacular cell or Sertoli cell, it protect from the attack of the immune. Okay, and then the other function of the Sertoli cell is to suspend the spermatid and also support the spermatogenesis as well as the spermiogenesis. So these are the function of the Sertoli cell that you have to know. Okay. Okay. Because just now I have mentioned that the special human, it contains the fluid height with the sex hormone. So I mean that this Sertoli cell, it secrete a few number of things here. Okay. It secrete the androgen binding protein ABP. And also the inhibin. Okay, what is the function of the inhibin? Inhibin is to slow the sperm production, and it also secrete the MIS, Mullerian inhibiting substance. Okay, regression of the Mullerian duct, which this substance, it causes regression of the Mullerian duct in male during the fetal life. Okay, and then we're going to proceed with the interstitial cell of the Leydig. Okay, this is the interstitial cell of the Leydig. Okay, interstitial cell of the Leydig. Interstitial cell of the Leydig. Okay, it is a round or oval cell. Okay, that present in the form of in the single form or in a clumps. Okay, And this cell, it is richly vascularized. Okay, it has a rich vessel. Okay, it is present inside the richly vascularized interstitium, okay, between the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so here this part contain very rich vessel. Okay, the cytoplasm is eosinophilic in color, pinkish in color, and the nucleus is round in shape. Okay, so the function of the this Leydig cell is to synthesize and secrete the testosterone and other non-steroid hormone. And the activity of this interstitial cell of the Leydig is controlled by the ICSH, interstitial cell stimulating hormone. Okay, now we're going to proceed to discuss on the matured sperm. The matured sperm, it has three portions. It has the head, it has the middle piece, it has the tail, okay, of flagellum, and the tail is rotated in the corkscrew fashion. Spermatogenesis, it requires the temperature lower than the interior of the body. So the testis usually, normally it is maintained at the temperature of 32 degrees degree Celsius. Okay, 32 degrees Celsius in the scrotum. Okay, and then for the semen, okay, so this is the semen. Fluid is the fluid will be ejected at the time of the male orgasms, and there will be a 2.5 to 3.5 ml of the semen will be ejaculated, okay, or ejected, okay, and this fluid contains the spermatozoa and also the seminal fluid, which is the comprises of 60%, and also prostatic secretion and concretion, which is comprises of 20% of the fluid that be injected, okay, the semen. And the secretion from the bulbourethral gland or corpus gland and the desquamated cell and also the breast also contained inside the semen. The sperm count is average. The sperm count average is about 100 million per mil. Okay, and the motility is 3 millimeter per minute. And then now going to proceed with the epididymis. Okay, epididymis. Okay, so this is the epididymis. Okay, epididymis is about 6 to 7 meter long. It's very long. Okay, so it has head. Okay, the superior portion receive the spermatozoa, and then it has a body, the distal and inferior, and the tail lead to the ductus deferens. Okay, this is the tail that lead to the ductus deferens. Okay, okay, this is the cross section of the epididymis. Okay, histologically. Okay, whenever you enlarge the size of the picture, so you can see like this. Okay, so the epididymis it lined by the pseudo-stratified, okay, columna. Okay, it pseudo mimic like a multiple layer. Okay, pseudo stratified columnar epithelium, which is uniform in thickness. Okay, uniform in thickness. You can see here the thickness is uniformly. Okay, uniform. At the apex here we have the the cytoplasmic process, which is known as a stereocilia, and the function of the stereocilia is to increase the surface area. The cell contain the secretion. The cell here it contain the secretion droplet, granules, vacuole, and pigment. And the basal cell contain the fatty droplet. Okay, so this is the basal cell. You see here, this is the basal cell. The basal cell it contain the fatty droplet. That is the epididymis. And now we're going to proceed with the vas or ductus deferens. The mucosa, so this is the mucosa of the vas deferens. It consists of the prominent pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium, with the where it bearing a conspicuous stereocilia. Okay, stereocilia also present at the mucosal layer of the ductus deferens. The epithelium and supporting lamina propria are folding. So if you see here, the mucosal layer is folding. Okay, there is absent of the submucosal layer here. Okay, and the remaining part actually is the muscular layer, smooth muscle layer. Okay. Okay, the ductus deferens actually it has a thick muscular wall. Okay, inner and outer longitudinal layer. So if you see here, this is the inner and outer longitudinal layer. In the middle here, we have the circular smooth muscle layer, and the adventitia is present throughout its length. Okay, the adventitia is present throughout its length. Okay, the adventitia. Okay, so what is the function of the ductus deferens? It conducts the spermatozoa from the epididymis to the prostatic part of the urethra. This is the cross section of the mid shaft of the penis. Okay, so we have the corpora cavernosa, and then we have the corpus spongiosum. And inside the corpus spongiosum, we have the urethra, and then we have the central artery that present inside the corpora cavernosa. Okay, so this is the cross section of the penis. Okay, the same thing that I have mentioned earlier. Okay, the penis is formed by the primarily three cylinder mass of the erectile tissue. They are pair corpora cavernosa, okay, two in number, and it is a ventrally placed, okay, they are pair corpora cavernosa, dorsally placed, and then we have the corpus spongiosum, that ventrally placed. So this is the ventral part, this is the dorsal part, okay. The corpus spongiosum here, it contains the urethra, okay. So we have the urethra in the corpus spongiosum, okay. And then the erectile tissue of the penis, okay, each corpus consists of the network of cavernous vascular sinus. Okay, each of the corpus spongiosum, the corpus, okay, each corpus consists of the network of the cavernous vascular sinus that in line with the endothelium and are separated by the fibromuscular trabecular composed of connective tissue and smooth muscle fiber. Okay, so you can see here, this is the trabecula, okay, and this is the cavernous space, okay. So it is in the form of the cavernous, okay, vascular sinus, okay. We have a space inside there, okay. Okay, thank you.